Look here, N-words, if we ain't out of this house in 15 minutes, they're gonna burn it down. This is what the Klansmen told Malcolm X and Jeremiah Shabazz as they sat at the kitchen table of Jeremiah Shabazz, munching on cookies and lemonade provided by Jeremiah Shabazz's wife. What is this odd story? Well,
I know for a fact that there is a conspiracy between the Muslims and the Lincoln Rockwell Nazi and also the Ku Klux Klan. There is a conspiracy.
Well, describe this conspiracy.
Well, the Ku Klux Klan made a deal, or were trying to make a deal with Elijah Muhammad in 1960 in the home of Jeremiah X, the minister in Atlanta at that time, who had president as the minister in Philadelphia. They were trying to make a deal with him to make available to Elijah Muhammad a county, a size tract of land in Georgia or South Carolina, where Elijah Muhammad could then induce Negroes to migrate and make it appear that his program of a segregated state or separated state was feasible.
this is a story pieced together from some FBI informants that were in the Klan, and also Malcolm X himself, and some other internal records from the Nation of Islam. The year was, well, in 1960, a telegram went to the Nation of Islam headquarters suggesting a meeting between some members of the Georgia Atlanta Klan, which was, I think, the Georgia Klan. Alabama was active, but I think Georgia had the most. These Klansmen, which was, might have been United, well, whatever, there's multiple Klan groups, but this was like the biggest one. They proposed a meeting, and now back in the 20s, Marcus Garvey had a meeting with the Klan about, well, we both want the races to be separate, so if black people get their own land, then they can be separate.
The basis of the Nation of Islam's program centers around land to supply basic needs. 3 hours from Chicago in Cassopolis, Michigan, is a typical Muslim farm operation managed by Brother Cornelius X. Williams. His involvement with this farm project goes back to the very beginning.
We started about 3 years ago, shortly after I'd heard a teaching in South Bend, and I was interviewed by the messenger, and he was talking about he wanted to get a farm started for the Muslims. And I had several interviews with him. He explained what he wanted and how he wanted it set up, how he wanted to go about it.
I don't think that the Klan members were quite smart enough to understand that their segregation was different than what the Nation of Islam wanted, was separation. Segregation was convenient for the whites because you have the black people around. They don't get all the same rights, but they're available to work and to, buy stuff. Like, they're handy, but they don't get full rights.
As far as the colored people were concerned, I feel that they were a good bit happier than they are now. They had less in the way of material things. But I can remember back in the 20s, when I was a small boy, they were always singing at their work. They had a great sense of humor. And now today, they just don't seem to care much about that as they used to.
Separation, having a separate nation within a nation, which was the Elijah Muhammad's self-described ideal of what the Nation of Islam would be, is different.